Welcome back, troglodytes, to another Trogly's Guitars video. Today we have a 1978 Gibson The Paul. Whenever people, shell out the money for a standard just because they want, a good Gibson guitar from the 70s or 80s, I always laugh at them for buying standards because these things right here, they're better than customs. I mean, go ahead and look at all the other videos that I've done. I've had tons of customs, tons of standards, custom shop, modern era, to nice vintage pieces. But I always come back to these The Pauls, and just the value for the money is insane on these guys. So if you're looking at this listing, you're definitely looking at the right guitar. One thing to note though is make sure you get one that's all original. Ones that have changed out pickups, they're still great players, but if you're looking for that 70s sound, find one that's all original like this, and definitely get the original case with it as well. So this one, very early example, and in, I would say player's condition. It has lots of finish wear, but you really can't tell. If you're new to this model, it is all, not mahogany, it's all walnut actually. Now they do have a deluxe version that is all mahogany. And what I should do is do a comparison video, because I actually have a mahogany one here that's called the Paul Deluxe. Those were from the early 80s. But this is the first version, the Paul. They have the walnut, everywhere. So it's a little bit different on the headstock. I kind of like it. I think it looks good on this example. You've got some scratches and just general wear. There's a very light vintage / smoky smell to this guitar. Frets do show some wear. Let's see if we can get it to focus here. But nothing that's really affecting playability. And they've got the ebony fretboard. So this is basically the studio model of the day before the studio even existed. I believe it was either 82 or 83. Well, actually, I think it was 85 when the studio as we know it came about. There was the studio standard and studio custom of the early 80s before the traditional studio. Alright, so once again, this one's a player's. They've worn away the finish there. This is kind of glossier. I looked under blacklight. It doesn't look like it was shot over with anything. And I guess now that I feel it, that makes sense. So you do have a little bit of wear there. The original knobs here, everything's original on the guitar. Has a nice vintage hue to it. Let's see, lots of light little dings. This thing was used, but definitely not abused. It's a very nice playing guitar. You can see you've got some wear in the finish there as well. But these aren't a gloss finish, they're more of a kind of a satin feel. They're not even quite satin, it's just basically a light clear over the walnut wood. And I personally really prefer that. That's the one thing I don't like about the deluxe mahogany versions, is they have the, the thick clear coat over them. Maybe that's why I like these guys so much, because I love the feel of sanded down necks. And even, without the wear, it kind of has that feel to it. So this was a late 78 model. I believe 78 was the first year for these, so it is a first year model. Towards the end of the year, you got your original Grovers. You got a few light mixed dings and scratches. And as you can see, the finish has been played off kind of in that, what is that, about 3 to 7th fret era. And up here you do have a few minor dings. Well, I guess I would probably consider those more major, but when you're playing, sure, you might feel them a little bit, so if that's not your style, maybe one of the other ones I have will be more of interest to you. Now this is interesting. I've had probably about 10 or so of these things, and I've never seen one with wood grain quite like that. That's not like a stain or anything, that's just in the wood grain, which is very interesting. You do have some buckle wear in the back, but you don't have to be scared to play this one. Once again, this is all original, which means it has T-tops, the same pickups that were in the customs of the day, as well as the standard. Take a look at the sides here. You got some moderate wear, but once again, these are the best bang for your buck. Got some interesting wood grain going on there as well. These things are just so effortless to play. I really love this model. If I had to choose just one guitar that I'd play forever, it'd be one of these. Because whenever I have one of these in the shop, whenever I go to play guitar, these are the ones I pick up. And I'm not just saying that to sell this cheaper Gibson. It's the honest truth. These things are the best guitars for your money. They might not be flashy. Some people like to call them the coffee table burst, but you know, they just have such character to it. I love all the wood grain, especially this one. This is a very interesting top on it, and I love those characteristics about it. On to the original case. If you've never had one of the Gen 2 chainsaw cases, they're awesome. This one, for my opinion, it's a little bit beat up more than I'd like. The padding in the handle is a little bit worn, as you can see. But you do have all three functioning latches. And despite being plastic, I love these things, but I hate them because I'm always scared I'm going to break them. So the proper way to do it is not like, I'll show you. Like, don't pull on it here. Go underneath it and get it off. Because that's where they break, is right there. Sometimes there. But as long as you do it like this, you should never have any issues. Just kind of got to push up on that. So I think a lot of it's user error for people complaining, oh, they break all the time. But the inside is red. You've got some of that falling down here. That's very easy just to tape back if it bugs you. You got your compartment lid in here. Once again, a slightly vintage smell to this case, but you know, it just adds to the general aura of the guitar. So, if you think you might want to be the next owner of this amazing Les Paul, feel free to contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglys, Troglys. And don't forget to subscribe for more. I've been Trogly, and have a good day.